Peace and blessings, YouTube. The Ripper here. It's always a pleasure and an honor to come before you in truth and righteousness, speaking some of these teachings that are life-giving teachings that are to help us and better us on our journey toward greater conduct and mental health and awareness and just being great individuals overall. Before I get into the lecture, as you can see, I entitled it Spiritual Foods Part 2, and I wanted this title, I'm Better Than You, to get your attention. But before I get into that, I was speaking recently to a gentleman, believe he lives in the Netherlands. I was speaking recently to him, Alfonso, I got to get his last name, but we were speaking about these videos and the context of the videos that I post, and many people listen and tune in, and I'm honored, and I thank the viewers for tuning in. But I was explaining to him that my job is not to try to sway someone's thinking or take them away from beliefs or toward beliefs. These videos are really for self-reflection, for you to look at yourself and look at your life and determine what is your role or your contribution to society, whether that be positive or negative. And those two, positive and negative, can be determined or distinguished at no limit of time. There's a criteria that we have to measure up to determine what's good and what's bad. But looking at your life, you can determine whether your contribution is positive or negative. Many times we don't want to look at ourselves because it's painful to self-reflect, because we are too distracted with the norms of society and what's happening, and distracted with we're distracted with what's going on in society, but we don't want to carry the burden of the responsibility and accountability of what we should be doing and our role. And it takes a lot of discipline and sacrifice to really live up to our greater potential. And because we're surrounded by temptation and comfortability, and that is what takes you away from your purpose. That is what can break your purpose and your mental creativity and your greater self, higher self, more divine self. And a lot of times it's painful to look at ourselves because, you know, we want to fit in. We want to do what we think is required or what's necessary to be successful. But these videos are really to challenge our mental and spiritual place, context, wherever we are, to see, how can I continue to elevate? How can I continue to evolve past these societal standards and norms that seem to be destroying the masses of the people? Do I want to fit into that narrative, or do I want to be a part of a greater contribution to society where I'm above the mental illness and the deprivation and degradation and low life of many people in society? Do I want to fit into that, or do I want to be above that? There's a criteria we have to live up to. So the title, I'm Better Than You, is when you have that mentality, thinking that you're better than someone, first, what qualifies you as better? We got to look at that. Like, what qualifies you as better? Many may think they're better because they have more money. Others may think they're better because they look better physically. Others may think they're better because they're more intelligent, more knowledgeable. But your betterment is supposed to drive you toward uplift and inspiring others to be better than where they may. Whatever you think you're better than someone, your job is to inspire them to be greater in that capacity in which you think you're better than them at. Not to look down on them in a way where you think whatever gift God may have given you or blessed you, whatever circumstance, that's a reason for you to look down or talk down on someone. And all of this is a part of the fall of society. And when we break down the compounds of why society is where it is, mentally, spiritually, it's because of small things like this that we overlook. We don't want to look at ourselves. We don't want to look at what we're doing that may be causing harm to others and ourselves ultimately. I think that we should start taking more responsibility at looking at ourselves and calculating our moves a lot better. And then you won't have an issue with depression and misery and mental health if you pay closer attention to your behavior and your actions. But if you don't know which way to go, then you'll just do whatever you want to do, and you'll be paying a price. You'll be suffering consequences of your behavior and not understanding why you have misfortunes or why you have these different mental barriers and no peace, no happiness, because you are your own worst enemy in your wicked mentality, or your ability to not see that rebellion against the law of life and rebellion against the law of God, which is ultimately righteousness, is what causes these falls or these death, what causes death, or what links us to mental health and what links us to these detrimental acts in society, is that we're not paying attention to our behavior and our contribution. So there has to be some way for us to measure up our conduct to see, am I on the right path? We don't want to second guess, hoping that we're on the wrong or right path. We've got to make sure that we're on the right path, because it's fatal to be on the wrong path and living in constant rebellion. That is a dangerous way to live, and then you'll just see your life unfold in the wrong way. So we have to look at the way we think. We have to look at what's causing or what's motivating us to do what we're doing. A lot of us have been so miseducated, and we are so ignorant to the reality that we don't even realize that we have been, like, the knowledge has been flipped. It's like what's good is bad, what's bad is good, up is down, left is right. It's like it's been so flipped to where they got us going in circles. And a lot of this is so subtle. But if you're not connected to your God-given intelligence, or to the source of strength, which is the creator that gives you that ability to think and have strong intuition, then you are influenced by your society, your surroundings. And unfortunately, this is a wicked society, a satanic society, a democratic or demonic society, where the influences of society is what lowers the vibration of the people. But if you don't understand that, then you're just perpetuating it. You're just in it, and you're just falling subtly. But we have to become aware of what's going on around us. We cannot no longer just go along with things. We have to start looking at our surroundings and become more aware and awakened, because we're unwittingly self-destructive and destructive to those around us. So we have to look at our mentality and our behavior in relationship to what society is, what it's becoming, and how we can contribute to it elevating. Because every intelligent human being wants to live. Nobody wants to die. Nobody wakes up every day expecting to die, unless they're just insane or just have lost that much inspiration to life. And everybody, the nature of people is to live, to extend your life. That's your nature, to live long, to preserve your life. So to not understand the law of life is asinine, because if you're living the law of death, you're not living the law of life, then that means that you're not aware of your behavior and how it's affecting you, that you may be causing death to yourself, that you're not living the law of life. And that law is rooted in the universe. And it's really common sense practices of respect, of uplift, of being humble, humility, of not looking to disadvantage others, not looking to take away from others, rob others. It's certain things that we know is bad, but we just do it because we feel like there's no other way to become successful. So all of that is societal, where the fabric of society has been lowered and reduced to where we're willing to sacrifice and compromise principles for gain. And that is the ultimate sin. So we have to stop looking at what can I benefit and gain from, and start looking at how can I live life properly? How can I live life in a way where I'm elevating and not falling? Don't fall for the tricks and the traps of society, where they make it easy to do wickedness, easy to lie and steal and rob for gain. Don't fall for that, because that's the way you die, because you're sowing bad seeds. And many people don't believe that. Many people don't believe that you put out the energy that you put out, you get back. So it's insanity for me to be an evil, wicked person and expect good to come my way. But many people don't believe in the law of karma and cause and effect, because many people are not spiritually mature. They're spiritual babies, spiritual children. And that's how spiritual children behave. You don't behave in a way where you know that you're sowing seeds and it's going to come back to you or to loved ones. So that's something we have to pay closer attention to. And that is what religion was supposed to do. It has been corrupt over the years and been watered down, in a sense, to make money and to corrupt and to weaken and enslave the masses of the people. But the original purpose for religion was to put people on the path of the law of life, to connect to the true source. That's what religion was supposed to do. But it has been watered down in the last 6,000 years. So all of this can be looked at, and we have to look at the effects of it. In society, you see the effects. You see the effects of what this system has done to the mentality of the people, how it has destroyed the people, except those who have been purified, those who have been cleansed of the system and of those wicked false teachings are not bound and restricted by those teachings. We're above those teachings. We're the healers in society. Those who have been purified of the false teachings in this world are the healers, because your frequency has been elevated. So that's something that we have to pay closer attention to, and understand that no one can make you do this. This is something that you have to be motivated, and someone can inspire you, but you have to be self-motivated to take up this responsibility. And until we do that, we're going to continue to experience tremendous loss, mentally, physically, and spiritually. So we need to get rid of the mentality that we're better than anyone. We're temporary owners in this universe. We all are going to die one day. So we need to exercise greater humility. And looking at the condition of the people, we all can be like that. If we don't continue to live righteous and live as we should live, just to one another, none of us are free of that condition of being crazy, out of our mind, mentally ill, and just never happy, just empty on the inside. Why do you want to live like that every day? That is a horrible way to live your life. So we need to start taking this a little more serious and understanding that we have the power to manifest greater if we educate ourselves properly and get out of the paradigm of these false teachings that have been passed down from generation to generation that has poisoned humanity. And we don't see it as false teachings because our loved ones pass the information down. Your mother, father, grandmother. It's just something that was passed down all these years, but the paradigm was to destroy you and miseducate you. So we have to understand that we have to start unlearning a lot and re-educating ourselves. So I want to communicate and I want to talk to you all personally. You can email me. My email will be at the description at the bottom of the video. And we can talk more about these topics: spiritual food, spiritual cleansings, the detoxing and physical cleansings as well that will affect your mind, spirit, and body. We got to make sure we're putting the right foods in our bodies, not poisoning our bodies. I have more information on the proper foods as well. And my ebook, 7 Simple Secrets to Doubling Muscle Gains. Those of you who may be interested in taking your body to the next level, that information is available as well. You'll find that in the description. But it's always an honor and a pleasure. Let's continue to stay uplifted, motivated, and move forward. Peace and blessings.